depressing is this going to be? Yes. In all capitals.
Oh my goodness.
How depressing is this going to be? How, all of it?
From the scale to 1 to 10.
A scale of 1 to 10, how, like... I can at least guarantee that this is gonna, like, it only gets worse.
It only gets worse.
Okay, do you remember, Manya, do you remember when we did the oh no, oh no,
Oh
no,
no.
no, 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 no,
Yep.
and it was just finding out the Canadian Atheist Organization had an international headquarters that was inside a 7-Eleven?
Oh god, yes. Yes.
Yeah, so it's gonna be that, but like it only, and you know how it only got worse every time we looked at it, and like it was just like the more we looked into it, it's like, oh, here's aliens, by the way, and oh, here's this, by the way, oh, here's this guy's personal business also, by the. It's that. It's just gonna get worse as we go, and we're gonna see how many of these topics we're actually gonna cover, because there's ultimately 3 of them, right? There's 3 of them.
Three topics, yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my god. So, so, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you're ready for the shit show tonight.
I got the best mug for today.
Really?
Yeah.
What did you got? What
Well,
did you
you'll
get?
see it. You'll see it. You'll see it.
Okay.
You'll see it. You'll
okay.
see it. You'll see it.
Okay, okay.
Oh, hey, Keon, good to see you.
Hey, Keon's in the house.
Yeah, there's 3 topics. The first one we're gonna cover is CRT because I think this is the one that like gets most bonkers. Then the then the gender thing, which is a little bit shorter and a little bit faster to cover. And then the last one is like the transgender stuff, and that's just like a goddamn nightmare.
Oh, fuck.
Hello.
Welcome back to Dumb Fekk Friday.
Dumb
Dumb Fekk Friday.
dumb
Dumb Fekk Friday.
dumb.
It's going to be fun.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dumb Fekk Friday. This is buckle in, man. I hope you brought drinks. I got a mug.
World's best boss.
We're gonna boss around today. We're gonna strut. That's what we're gonna do.
I'm a Pikachu.
Oh, that's a good one. I like your Pikachu mug. That's a great mug.
Thank you.
How are you?
You want me
today?
to buy one?
Yeah.
I am.
Actually, I
Okay.
want a Uganda Knuckles one. I don't know if those exist, but I want one.
Okay. I'll look for it. I am a little under the weather. I'm a little under the weather. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I overworked myself on Thursday, as usual. Went for a 10-hour shift, non-stop, and didn't sleep well, and this is what happens. So, hopefully, yeah, after this I survive. Hopefully it's not COVID. I have to do a rat test after this. So yeah, that's me today. How is everyone else? How are you, Chesh?
I see Helios, I see Keon, I see Lord Magicus, I see
Keon.
Alicia, I see EMP, I see Squaxamonophone, I see Feline, I see Letty, I see April, I see Inkboy, I see Rez, I see Mr. Sirius, I see Athens. Did I miss anybody?
Oh.
Did I get everybody? I see Bent, I saw Dapper, hey hoi hoi hoi, ahoy me no, I see Al Capone's #1 Mall, aka Liz. Hello there, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm glad you're here.
Hey.
Glad you guys are joining us today. This is going to be like an absolute dumpster.
Yes.
So if you are a member, dumpster fires in the chat.
Yeah, dumpster fires, everybody.
Oh no.
Let's go, let's go.
Yeah, I hope everybody's got good, like, is set up for the weekend and everybody, yeah, like, has plans and is gonna go to the bar after this because, oh boy.
Do you think it always goes to the plan? Does it always go to the plan? I don't
Alright.
think so.
All right. So let's get started. This is gonna be a bit of a trip. So I don't want to eat too much of people's time with my horrific drinking habits. So we're gonna start off with the CRT stuff. As I was saying, likely because it's the longest. So first off, you guys need to know what CRT is. So we do have the Encyclopedia Britannica here. Did you want to read that out, Mani, or do you want me to?
I can read that out. What is it? Did I lose it? What is it? Oh, sorry. I think so. I lost it. Oh, found it. Okay, sorry.
Oh,
My bad.
All right. We're good. We're professionals.
So Britannica.com says, critical race theory, intellectual and social movement, and loosely organized framework of legal analysis based on the premise that race is not a natural, biologically grounded feature of physically distinct subgroups of human beings, but a socially constructed, culturally invented category that is used to oppress and exploit people of color. Critical race theorists hold that racism is inherent in the law and legal institutions of the United States insofar they function to create and maintain social, economic, and political inequalities between whites and non whites, especially African Americans. Critical race theorists are generally dedicated to apply their understanding of the institutional or structural nature of racism to the concrete, or if distant, goal of eliminating all race-based and or other unjust hierarchies.
Yeah, so that's, do you want to give, like, a summation, or should we let, Tucker Carlson give that summation for us?
Tucker Carlson. So it's funny, like, how this all just flipped as soon as you go to Fox News, of course, because it flipped. But you guys have to hear this to like understand how much it flipped. So in short, critical race theory talks about the systems, how systems were developed that they inherently promoted or maintained discrimination or hierarchies. So, and the theorists of this theory want to discover where these systems are and how they work, how they can be improved. So that's what critical race theory is.
All right, let's hear what Tucker Carlson thinks.
And that even goes for some of those who've been yelling about it the loudest.
I've never figured out what a critical race theory is, to be totally honest, after a year of talking about it. They're teaching that some races are morally superior to others, that some are inherently sinful and some are inherently saintly, and that's immoral to teach that because it's wrong.
Wow. I don't know if I've ever seen a person confidently complain about something just seconds after admitting they don't know shit about it. I've never figured out how a
My man.
works, to be honest, but there's a chimpanzee
I'll let him finish his joke.
under the hood turning a crank, and when you press the accelerator it pokes him with a sharp stick and makes him crank faster, and it's immoral to do that because it's wrong. But obviously,
Oh my God.
that is not what critical race theory is. It's the name given to a body of legal scholarship that began in the 1970s that attempted to understand why racism and inequality persisted after the civil rights movement. The core idea is that racism is not merely the product of individual bias or prejudice, but also something that is embedded in legal systems and policies. As for Tucker's notion that it teaches that...
Okay, so yeah, we all know Tucker Carlson's a moron. Surprise of
Yeah, he
nobody. But we do have a professional in the field who spoke on this, and this is what she had to say.
Says let's pay attention to what has happened.
One of CRT's leading scholars points out.
Critical race theory just says let's pay attention to what has happened in this country and how what has happened in this country is continuing to create differential outcomes so we can become that country that we say we are. So critical race theory is not anti-patriotic. In fact, it is more patriotic than those who are opposed to it because we believe in the 13th and the 14th and the 15th Amendment. We believe in the promises of equality, and we know we can't get there if we can't confront and talk honestly about inequality.
Yeah, she's...
And so now that you have a bit of an understanding of what CRT actually is, because I kind of felt that it was important that you guys knew what the hell we were talking about before you saw some of the dumbest shit I have ever seen. Because you have to understand this to know how stupid what we're about to look at actually is. And to caveat this, I was planning on maybe, I was like, nah, I'm not talking about this shit. I don't care. Leave me the fuck out of this. I was inundated with messages of people just sending me all of the shit that was going on, and I'm like, God damn it. And so I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll make a video. I'll make like a little video that kind of does exactly what we're doing right now, but it'll be condensed, it'll be in video format, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I won't mention the person's name who we're talking about, and if you know, you know. And then,
You know.
3 days go by, and it's just implosion after implosion. It just got worse And worse, and I was like, finally, fuck it. I don't care. I'm not putting in the work to write a script and edit it together. This is not worth my time. So we're just gonna have a giggle on a Friday.
So we are on the Dumb Fact Friday now talking about this.
All right, brace yourselves.
I didn't know I would laugh like that. Sorry.
Mania's obviously faking her laughter. She's just sad inside because the FBI are looking into her credit history.
Oh my goodness.
Oh boy. Oh yeah, see look, chat even admits that they were sending me shit. Alright. Should critical race theory be taught in kindergarten to grade 12? College? At all? Yes. Should this graduate program that's for legal students be taught to kindergartners? Should it? What do you think, Mania? So here's the thing.
There's a way to teach children about these things, and you can simplify things to explain to kids. CRT can be simplified, and it can be made presentable to kindergartens and even college level also. But you would only study it at the college level.
Should quantum mechanics be taught to kindergartners?
Exactly, that's what I'm talking about. So, thank you, Icarus. So, yeah, unless you're going to pursue something as complex as CRT, I don't think so that kindergartners need to know about it. Maybe a mention of it when they are in middle school and maybe high school. Yeah, a brief introduction. Yes, good. But in college, if you're going to pursue it, then you should study it, in my opinion. Or if, for example, there can be many fields in which you can study CRT. If you're studying communications, media, journalism, law, in all these fields, you can study this. But I don't know why it's brought up like that should it be taught to kindergarten?
Oh no, well, here's the thing. You know what you do teach to kindergartners? People should be treated equally and you should be kind to people and be nice to your neighbors. That's what you teach to kindergartners. And it doesn't matter what people look like or where they're from or what they've done. What matters is that you should treat people with a monochrome of decency and respect. That's what you teach to kindergartners.
Exactly. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It can be simplified, right? It can be presented in another way to kindergarten. So I don't know why are you comparing kindergartners to college level students?
Because he doesn't know what he's talking about. All right, next half of this.
Oh, okay.
I reject CRT. I don't know what that means. And apparently this is unconscionable to some, even though I have never expressed why I think CRT is a disingenuous and dangerous ideology that stifles free speech, promotes racism, and facilitates groupthink. Do you think nobody asked because nobody cared because your rejection of it on a whole is inconsequential to whether or not that makes you an asshole?
Nobody cares, dude. Fuck off. Enjoy.
Also, Feline points out that he still hasn't explained why he thinks that in this example.
Yeah, he does not. He does not at all. Maybe because he's waiting for someone to come to him and ask him, "Hey, Steve, what do you think about CRT? Why do you reject CRT?" Blah, 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 blah.
Don't try to have a conversation with him. Flat Earthers reject gravity.
Oh my god, the chat is on fire today. Awesome.
Mr. Serious, I reject philosophy. CRT is not an ideology. Landon, if you don't know how to teach quantum mechanics to children, then you don't understand the subject. There you go. We in this to win this. So, alright. Besides the fact that this is completely, absolutely backassers, right? Because it's we're saying that that CRT should never be taught, because it stifles free speech. I don't know what would stifle free speech more than saying nobody's allowed to learn or talk about problems within a structure, right? Whether the problems in that structure be due to racism, whether it be due to like current racism or historical racism, being able to draw those lines. Like this is all stuff that makes sense to talk about, especially in a legal sense. But we know that this isn't quite what they're talking about. Do you want to know where he gets this?
Oh boy.
Because I've tracked it down. I actually went and did some fucking research because I was like, okay, well, I don't know that much about CRT. Let's go fucking find out.
You want to torture yourself, don't you? You're a masochist, aren't you, Chesh?
Fuck, I hate myself. I hate myself more than I hate myself more than Steve and Red's rhetoric hate me. I'm just that good. All right, here we go. Let's find out, shall we?
Definition of it was suddenly absolutely everywhere. And with that, CRT, or crucially, Rufo, is this man, a conservative activist named Christopher Rufo. He claims CRT is actually a revolutionary program that would overturn the principles of the Declaration and destroy the remaining structure of the Constitution, which it just isn't. It isn't that. But in the wake of the George Floyd protests, just as America was beginning to grapple with systemic racism, Fox News began featuring Rufo on air a lot as part of their efforts to swing that pendulum back hard. And in one appearance, he pointed to diversity trainings in government as evidence of CRT's influence. And he spoke directly to President Trump through the camera about what he wanted to see happen.
I'm not going to play what he actually said to the president, but needless to say, the president then signed a thing about it.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just going to skip forward again just a little bit, because I don't care about what he was actually saying.
Ideally, you want an executive branch that's a little more complicated than fucking Siri. And with that, CRT, or crucially, Rufo's definition of it, was suddenly absolutely everywhere. Fox News kept pushing it, mentioning the term critical race theory nearly 5,000 times last year alone. And the network zeroed in on its supposed use in schools, with Rufo telling Fox's audience that CRT has really become the default ideology of the public education system. And what Rufo has been cleverly doing is cherry-picking the worst examples that he can find of lessons in classrooms or training materials for teachers and saying, that is CRT. And he's openly admitted that he's been engaged in a deliberate rebranding exercise, tweeting, "We have successfully frozen their brand, critical race theory, into the public conversation and are steadily driving up negative perceptions. The goal is to have the public read something crazy in the newspaper and immediately think critical race theory."
So before we go, I'm going to go a little bit further, but just to be clear, what he's saying here is the definition that Steve is using and the thing that Steve is arguing about is a Fox News conservative conspiracy theory to undermine the progress of America in being a better place for an equality for everybody, as is written in the Declaration of Independence. Or so the Constitution. Yay!
I don't get it. Well, like, I thought Steve researched his shit.
Oh, don't worry. You want to know what his... We'll get to what his research is. You want to see that?
Oh God, no. Okay, let's go.
All right, I'll play this last little bit, and then we'll...
And the thing is, it fucking worked. Because whenever you hear CRT now, you are not hearing about the academic discipline. You're hearing about a category so broad, it encompasses both the craziest thing in the newspaper and also, crucially, any conversation about race that someone does not want to have.
And there's your problem right there. Oh no, an uncomfortable conversation, that thing that happens when you learn. Being mildly uncomfortable, anything but that. Alright, let's switch back over here. Because down here we have a little bit of a conversation, which clarifies exactly what I said they were talking about. So Steve's little butt buddy here, Chris, college is appropriate, I disagree with CRT. What do you mean you disagree with? You don't know what you're talking about.
Dude!
But you can't stop academics' research, even the bad stuff. The fuck does that mean? Even
What's
the bad
stuff?
When who gets to dictate what the bad stuff is? Oh no, we're older white men, and talking about race makes us uncomfortable. Therefore, it is the bad stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
That being said, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's go. Nah, I'm just saying, like, where did Chris did Chris check whether what Steve was talking about it was correct? Nah. He just followed and slid through Steve right in. You know.
No lube? That being said, it is a concept that is in no way appropriate for K to 12. Learning in kindergarten that there are people who are different than you, and that means they have a different life experience than you, is totally normal for kindergartners. I learned this shit on Sesame Street.
Exactly, right?
The fuck are you talking about?
You can teach this stuff to kids. You just need a good medium, and you need to tone it down or express it in a very different way, simple terms. Like Chesh said, teach kids to not treat people differently, treat everybody equally.
Yeah, and
nicely.
DeSantis, yeah, we'll get to DeSantis, but Governor Florida Man will use fear of CRT to promote his political standing, which is exactly what Fox News has been doing. I would like to point out, by the way, this video is from over a year ago.
Oh my goodness.
Over a year ago.
Holy shit.
Just to be
Holy
clear,
shite.
just to be clear, this is not new. Okay, being taught and being talked about are not the same thing, though.
Yeah.
Sure. CRT is controversial and arguably a form of social indoctrination if no opposing view is taught with it, which CRT disallows.
What?
Can you show in any of the stuff we've looked at, including the Britannica, how any of this is even remotely the case?
It's a research-based topic, you dipshit. You research in it. You use statistics in it to find out whether you can work on something or not. You dipshit.
This man has gone full senile.
He has. Listen, what was his source again? Come on, Chesh, let's have a look at it, because this is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
So, where's he getting these concepts besides, obviously Fox News and
Fox
their pundit? Okay, so what is CRT and what resource of the original promoters can I use to understand it? He provides this link. It's a Newsweek article. Luckily, obviously not an original promoter of any kind, in any way, shape, or form. And so Catboy here says, original promoters, Steve, I want to give them a fair chance before judging. Original goes back to the 70s by some legal scholars by the name of Derek Bell and Richard Delgado, and Kimberly Crenshaw. So Kimberly Crenshaw is the lady we listened to.
Yeah.
During the civil rights movement to expose system racism in society, which I absolutely believe exists, but doesn't provide a source.
Yeah,
he just
nothing.
Says this shit.
I'll provide our source in the live chat for anybody to have a look at it. Here we go.
And believe it or not, there have been adaptations and changes and developments to this theory, which, by the way, I would like to point out, this is not a scientific theory. This is not the same type of theory. This is a theory as in, here's an abundance of information, here's what we think about that information and where that may or may not be leading. It's a discussion, and it's like, okay, so what do we do about it? It's like a game theory, or a movie about, like a movie theory. It's not evolution. It's not people are running around saying facts. They're talking about a concept. EMP for 10 said, EMP for 10 says, people become the product of their environment unless they have insight or get encouraged to admit error. Way to go, America. You made a nation of such mass delusion.
Oh.
Where?
Nothing against the Americans in the chat.
I don't wanna overtake this idea of arguably social indoctrination. What? Okay, what the fuck?
Yeah, what's indoctrination in
Guys.
there? Which part is indoctrination? Please explain it to me.
Guys, please treat people fairly, no matter the color of their skin, or their ethnicity, or where they come from, or whether they're trans or not, or what their sexual orientation is, or their religion, or their creed, yada yada yada. Please treat people fairly and equally, thank you. Social indoctrination. Alright, so...
Okay, let's go.
Let's look. I pulled up the article, because of course I fucking did.
Yes.
I don't fuck around. So this is the article by Newsweek. And of course, as everybody knows, Newsweek is very right-leaning. Now, we're not going to actually read the article. Why?
Yeah, no.
Because I have something more amusing to show you. I looked up...
Oh, boy.
First off, this is an opinion piece, as you may have noticed.
Yeah.
So this is not like an article explaining what it is. This is not an article written by people who are proponents of CRT.
Opinion
This is an opinion
is influenced
of some...
by
Yeah.
bias. So, straight up. So it will be biased towards some side. And for some reason, Steve brought an opinion article up rather than a website which gives a proper definition so that the person can decide themselves whether it's an ideology or indoctrination and blah, 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 blah.
Skullator in the chat said, I reject America because recognizing it exists makes me uncomfortable. Alright, so we got something a little bit more fun to talk about because I wanted to show you who these authors are.
Oh boy.
And where
right,
exactly Steve's getting his information, right? Okay.
Yes, please.
So this is Richard Vedder, right? Okay, so he's a professor of economics, right? For Ohio University. So economics. Economics. Not social studies, not law. Economics.
Yeah.
Ohio Universities, and he's a senior fellow at the Independent Institute. Now, he's got some opinions, like Vedder wrote along with Wendell Cox in a December 2016 book, The Walmart Revolution, in which they asserted that criticism of wage practices at Walmart are unfounded. He argued that Walmart workers are paid fairly given their skill and experience, and he stated that they also receive side benefits such as health insurance that is fairly similar to competing firms. He further argued that communities with new Walmart stores have greater total employment and higher incomes. You know, Walmart, who tried to pay their employees with Walmart gift cards.
Oh yeah, that Walmart.
That Walmart.
What the fuck is he talking about?
Okay, so Vedder serves as an adjunct scholar at the American Enterprise Institute and a think tank known mostly for libertarian and conservative perspectives. He has served as an economic with Congress, blah, 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 later testified before a committee in October 30th, 2008. He's also the director of the blah, 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 blah. Okay, so this right here is a fellow senior at Independent Institute. What is Independent Institute, you might rightfully be asking, because who the fuck knows what this is?
Yeah, what is it, Chesh?
Yeah, okay, an American libertarian think tank based in Oakland, California, founded in 1986. The Institute focuses on political, social, economic, legal, environmental, and foreign policy issues. It has 140 research members. Okay, so what are they about? Are you ready?
Oh, please. Fire at me. Go ahead.
So, the Institute's stated mission is, quote, to boldly advance peaceful, prosperous, and free societies grounded in a commitment to human worth and dignity. Great.
Doesn't sound like it.
Independent Institute scholars have criticized the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act on economic, legal, and ethical and privacy grounds. They have leveled several criticisms of Medicare, and they've lamented widespread indifference to the Medicare trustees. They care about the trustees. Reports warning of Medicare's mounting fiscal problems. They argued that
Ethical.
healthcare inflation in the United States began with the creation of Medicare. To help curb Medicare spending,
Oh.
Graham has proposed incentivizing enrollees to seek less expensive medical treatments abroad. Travel! Go to Canada, go to Mexico, get it done there instead.
Come to India. Dental work is really cheap here.
Independent Institute has criticized the United States Food and Drug Administration, that's the FDA, for what it sees as overregulation as a result of political and bureaucratic incentives. Independent's website, fdareview.org, cites numerous scholarly studies by academic economicists that question the agency's safety, efficiency, and incentives. They've argued that the FDA's regulations of healthcare products is hazardous to our health.
Hazardous, FDA, hazardous, overregulation. What?
Senior fellow has questioned the need of the FDA's pre-approval requirements for pharmaceuticals on the grounds that doctors successfully prescribe many drugs for off-label usage. Do you notice the problem with that?
Have they forgotten the crisis that oxycodone came with? And it was a regulated drug.
You only have off-label usages when you have a label in the first place. It's okay. It gets worse.
Oh, come on.
Are you ready?
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm gonna get
Okay,
tortured
I'm
with
skipping
Jessica.
over their First Amendment gun control stuff. Alright, we're just skipping that. We're skipping that.
Thank you.
They've argued that interventionalist materialism can lead to a boomerang effect, setting in motion political, institutional, and ideological forces that contribute to the suppression of civil liberties in the aggressive country. Independent has also criticized major aspects of the critical justice system as antagonistic towards civil liberties. Before the British Crown took over the courts, the legal system focused on restitution for victims rather than punishment, corrections, and deterrence. They argue that rather than always promoting the cause of civil liberties, the legal idea has served, quote, both as an engine and a curb on state power.
Oh, hold on. Do they know who, to whom the restitution was paid to? Do we know to whom the restitution was paid to?
Do you think that, are you asking if they know, or are you, because I feel like these people are just liars.
Yeah. So in the live chat, if you know that, I think so everybody knows to whom the restitution was paid to.
Mm-hmm.
It was paid to the people who owned slaves and lost their slaves due to the civil rights movement and couldn't have slaves anymore.
Shocking.
And they
Rich white libertarian think tank is racist? Question mark?
I refuse to believe that it's a libertarian think tank, you know. I refuse to believe that.
Well, they're not liberal, they're libertarian. Different things.
Liberty. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Criticism of the invasion of Afghanistan. In the aftermath of September 11 attacks, the Independent Institute was an early advocate of using privateers rather than a military invasion.
Oh yeah, let's let contractors come in and charge you 5 times the money that you would have spent on. Already millions and billions have already gone in. Let's pay 5 times more to contractors who come in and charge exorbitant rates. How much commission is this institution getting from those agencies? I would like to know if they did come in, because looks like they have some economic interest in it.
Oh, what? No. No.
No, nah. It's
they don't
funny.
have any economical interest. So speaking of which, for the fiscal year ending on June 30th, 2014, the institute had a total revenue of $2,775,869. From 2007 to 2011, the institute took in $12 $1,249,065 from gifts, grants, contributions, and membership fees, and $536,747 in gross income from interest, dividends, payments received on security loans, rents, royalties, and income from similar sources. On June 2nd of 1999, the Institute sponsored a full-page advertisement titled Open Letter on Antitrust Protectionism in the Washington Post and the New York Times. The ads were signed by 240 economists and claimed headline-grabbing cases against Microsoft, Intel, Cisco Systems, Visa, and MasterCard, along with a flurry of merger investigations now underway, would appear to demonstrate the need for a vigorously enforced antitrust policy that will create checks and balances to eliminate consumer harm. However, consumers did not ask for these antitrust actions. Rival business firms did.
Oh, okay.
So they're trying to say you don't need antitrust. It's just about businesses doing business.
Yeah, it's not for the people, it's for the businesses. So they can compete for consumers equally. I think so that's what they wanted.
September 1999, a controversy arose when the New York Times reporter, Joel, stated that the advertisement had been paid for by Microsoft.
What? Why would Microsoft... Okay.
Based on the initial Independent Institute documents, quote, provided to the New York Times by a Microsoft adversary associated with the computer industry who refused to be further identified. Brinkley wrote that Microsoft, quote, had secretly served as the Institute's largest outside financial backer in the last year. Independent Institute internal documents showed that Microsoft had contributed $203,217 in 1999, making the single largest contributor. Brinkley calculated that Microsoft's contribution amounted to 20% of the funds in 1999 from external sources.
Oh, boy.
The day after Berkeley's article appeared, they stated that, quote, our financial and year-end records do not agree with the numbers that have been provided by his source, and claimed that the media conference he had stated that Microsoft's funding amounted to 7%. Quote, it now appears that the final figure is about 8%, a statistically insignificant difference, and far less than the 20% figure that Mr. Berkeley claimed in the article. In June 2000, Wall Street Journal staff reports that Oracle had hired an investigative group international, as well as Cholpek, Leonard, blah, 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 Washington, D.C. Public Relations Agency to distribute damaging information about Microsoft's allies to media outlets.
Ooh, we have a disgruntled employee somewhere. It's like,
so this is
take it.
This is the first guy in that article. Think
this is only the first guy. Oh, okay.
This is the first guy. Do you guys think it's gonna get worse?
Oh boy, yes.
Yes?
It will get worse. Yes.
This is Amy Wax. The other the other person and the other author. All right,
unique name, I would say.
Comes off pretty well at first, right? She's an American lawyer, neurologist, and academic. Right? She's a professor of law at the University of Pennsylvania Law School, and her work addresses in social welfare law policy, as well as the relation of family and the workplace and labor markets. She often has made, and then it just immediately falls on its face. All good. This sounds all good. Like she actually knows what she's talking about in this field. She has often made remarks about non-white people, which have been described as white supremacist and racist.
Oh, straight into it. Holy shit.
Yup. Yeah. Okay. So, skipping this, let's look at the controversial statements, right? Okay. In an August 2017 piece in the Philadelphia Inquirer titled "Paying the Price for Breakdown of the Country's..." I forgot how to shit. Bourgeois culture. She wrote with San Diego law professor Larry Alexander that since the 1950s, the decline of bourgeois values such as hard work, self-discipline, marriage, and respect for authority had contributed to social ills such as male labor force participation rates going down to Great Depression level eras, epidemic opioid abuse, half of all children being born to single mothers, and many colored students lacking basic skills. The author asserted that all cultures are not equal, or at least they are not equal in preparing people to be productive in an advanced economy. She sold the Daily Pencil. She told the Daily Pennsylvanian that, quote, everyone wants to go to countries ruled by white Europeans.
So this is the lady who said this. Oh my fucking lord.
Because of their superior mores. In the same interview, Wax strongly emphasized that she did not believe in the superiority of one race over another, but was describing the situation in various countries and cultures. So if I wanted to be an asshole, if this is all I had to go off of, I could say, alright, let's be as charitable as possible. Maybe. Maybe what she meant was that because of economic standing and because of cultural habits, different people will do better. So, like, if you're coming from a slum, you're not as likely to be as successful in school or in higher education as you are if you're coming from, like, a rich white neighborhood. And then if she were to then go on to explain why this was the case due to, like, systemic racism and redlining and the way schools are funded by district, and so the poorer your district is, the less tools your school has, this would be fine. This would be, like, maybe a poorly worded thing that could have been cherry-picked out, but that's if we were being charitable.
Yeah.
Let's not be, though. Let's keep going, because it gets worse.
Nah.
In September 2017 podcast interview with Professor Glenn Lowry, Wax said, quote, take Penn Law School or some top 10. Also, half of every child to a single mom, that's a big fucking number that you pulled out of your ass.
Where did you get those numbers from, Amy? Amy, where did your numbers come from?
Take Penn Law School or some top 10 law school. Here's a very inconvenient fact. I don't think... fact. I don't think I've ever seen a black student graduate in the top quarter of the class, and rarely in the top half. I can think of one or two students who scored in the top half in my required first-year course. And she said that Penn Law School has a racial diversity mandate for its law review. University of Pennsylvania Law School Dean Theodore Ruger responded, quote, black students have graduated at the top of the class at Penn Law School, and the law review does not have a diversity mandate. Rather, its editors are selected based on a competitive process. In July of 2019, at Edmund Burke Foundation's inaugural National Conservatism Conference, Wax said, quote, embracing cultural distance nationalism means, in effect, taking the position that our country will be better off with more whites and fewer non-whites.
Oh my fucking lord. Oh god. These are the economists who are self-serving, self-centered, and going the easy route. Kind of idiots. I might say. Yeah, I called Amy an idiot.
It gets better. Alright, so besides the fact that people have, like, tried to, like, sign petitions to have her removed, like, including students, and Black Lives Matter got involved, yada yada yada. As a result of the controversies, in March of 2018, Dean Ruger stripped Wax of her duties teaching curriculum courses to the first-year students. He condemned her comments as repugnant, and at a student town hall, he said, her presence here makes me angry. It pisses me off. She still works here. It sucks. But the only way to get rid of a tenured professor is a process that's gonna take months. In March of 2018, an opinion piece in the Wall Street Journal titled, The University of Denial, Aggressive Suppression of the Truth is a Central Feature of Americans' Higher Education. Wax wrote, the mindset that values openness understands that truth can be inconvenient and uncomfortable. Hoarding and hiding information relevant to such differences violates basic principles of fair play. Universities, like any other institutions, scheme relentlessly to keep facts from view. You mean like the guy who's part of a libertarian think tank that's, like, pays to have? Never mind. Do you mean maybe like
articles?
Do you mean maybe like this? Maybe like something that should never be taught to anybody? You mean that?
Interesting. Where did the uncomfortable truth go, Amy? And I'll ask again, like, you say uncomfortable truths. Yes, truth can be uncomfortable, but how are you validating what you're claiming to be true? I would like to know how you are, the fucking statements, the bold, large, generalized statements that you're making about whites and non-whites, where are you getting that information from? I would like to know. Did you conduct a study, a research? What did you do? What did you study to come up with that uncomfortable truth? Or did you just pull it straight out of your ass?
Okay, no, it gets better.
Hole.
It gets better. In 2021, Wax wrote that, quote, the United States is better off with fewer Asians, claiming Asians are ungrateful for the advantages of living in the United States and vote disproportionately for the Democratic Party, which she called mystifying because the Democratic Party demands equal outcomes despite clear group differences and valorizes blacks. She favorably cited Enoch Powell while calling for stricter race-based immigration restrictions against Asians. In April 2022, Wax said on Tucker Carlson today, oh, we're back to Tucker Carlson, who'd have fucking thought? Oh no, we've gone all the way back around. Blacks and other non-white groups harbor resentment, shame, and envy against Western people for their outsized achievements and contributions. Wax then attacked Indian immigrants for criticizing things in the United States when their country is a shithole, and went on to say that the role of envy and shame in the way that the third world regards the first world creates ingratitude of the most monstrous kind.
But Amy, I thought you were in favor of listening to uncomfortable truths. Did we hit a nerve? Did we Indians hit a nerve when we criticized your system? As I say that India is regarded as a third world country, but child marriage is prevalent in US. We are outlawing child marriage, with minimum age of marriage being 18 and 21 for females and males, respectively. So is that what? But I thought you would like to listen to uncomfortable truths and would like to tell uncomfortable truths.
I thought
what
these
happened
people...
there?
Wait,
Only whites should get to spew uncomfortable truths. Oh my!
This guy and his institution all said they were about civil laws and free speech and constitution shit. What do you mean people who are from somewhere else and not from America aren't allowed to criticize the government?
Do you know what rigorous process Indians and other countries have to go through to get into US? Probably more than what a college student would do, I would say.
So we're not going to talk about the age of all of these elderly white people we're talking about today, because I think that that's not fair to all of the elderly white people that are out there.
Yeah, true.
Seriously, all of them are old white people.
Let's not create stereotypes.
What an inconvenient fact.
So Inkboy from the live chat asked, wait, why males have to be 21 years old, why women can be 18 years old for marriage? So I think so they're trying to change that and make it 21 years old for girls also, because that age bar was set on a wrong belief, if I might dare say, that girls mature earlier than boys. So and the boys have to be mature to a certain age before they can marry, or their brains develop till 21 to be able to handle relationships. So they're trying to introduce a bill that will increase the age of females also to 21, which I really welcome, because by 21 you will have a basic bachelor's degree.
How you're lucky you get anything at all. How dare you complain about injustices? No, listen, we just all want to go live in places that are ruled by European overlords. That's definitely what what American independence is about.
Oh yeah, that's why India kicked out Britishers, in 1947. Yeah, that's why.
Yo, Doug, I heard you liked history, so we brought you a history lesson. Okay, so to make matters a little bit worse.
Oh, come on.
To make matters a little bit worse. We're dealing with critical race theory is racist, promotes racism, and to prove that, I'm gonna cite these clearly racist people.
Biased opinion pieces, yeah.
And then, to defend myself, I'm going to say this.
Oh, so this is the worst part.
Can you see this? Is this coming through all the way? Do I need to tweak this a little bit so you can see it better?
Yeah, you need to tweak it a little bit. There we go, beautiful.
This better? So this is
better.
Steve. It's cut off a little bit, but it's, I assure you, I promise it's him. I promise I didn't, just make this up. I shit you not. But I'll show you, just because, see?
Yeah.
See?
Oh,
You
God.
can see? It's him.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah.
Yeah, see?
It's him.
I'm
him. It's not a
proving it,
fake profile,
It's not
boys.
fake. All right, I didn't do this. It wasn't me. All right, I cannot be held liable nor responsible for this stupidity. All right, we here at Fekk Friday do not take responsibility for any lost brain cells during the viewing of our show.
During this live stream, yes. We are not responsible for that. Viewer discretion is advised, and watch this live stream at your own risk.
Risk to your own. Okay. I quote, I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Martin Luther King. This is, I believe, not... This is, I believe, not books that openly advocate for the very antithesis of that brilliant speech. Whatever the fuck. Meanwhile, Helios down here, because I thought it'd be nice to highlight what Helios said. Steve, don't do that thing where someone fighting against something made to help counter racism uses MLK's I have a dream speech out of context. That is legitimately racist, and people need to stop acting like MLK stopped talking after that speech. Ooh. So, but here's the thing. Oh. This actually gets covered a little bit. Let me just jump on forward here.
Oh, so this is the worst part.
This is probably the worst part.
Okay, we are throwing the baby out and the water with it. Let's go.
I mean, yeah, get this baby out of here. I don't like him.
History, everyone. Facts matter here. But maybe the most insulting distortion of history is in the quote that every single anti-CRT activist seems to love to invoke.
You think about what MLK stood for. He said he didn't want people judged on the color of their skin, but on the content of their character.
You know, I believe it was Martin Luther King that said, when he was talking about his children, that
he didn't want his children to be judged
on the color of their skin,
but by the content of their character.
Content of their character, not by the color of their skin.
Content of our character, not the color of our skin.
And the immortal words of Dr. Martin Luther King ring in our ears that we must judge others not by the
color of their skin,
but by the content of their character.
The left wants us to constantly focus on skin color. It's destructive. Martin Luther King Jr. is rolling over in his grave.
Yeah, you know what? I bet he is, actually. In fact, I'm pretty sure every time someone uses his words that way, Dr. King's illustrious remains spin fast enough to power the eastern fucking seaboard. Here's the thing, though. That dream speech was clearly an aspirational goal, not a description of things as they stood. And in fact, King himself later put a pretty major asterisk on it.
I must confess that that dream that I had that day has at many points turned into a nightmare. And I've come to see that we have many more difficult days ahead, and some of the old optimism was a little superficial, and now it must be tempered with a solid realism.
Yeah, exactly.
Tempered with solid realism. Now that's a line to remember.
Thanks, Steve.
Steve, what the fuck is wrong with you? What's going on with you, man?
So I'm gonna put a poll in the chat, and we'll take like a little mini break, because that was a lot, and I know it's gonna need... You guys are gonna want some time to let that kind of wash over you. Let that sink in. So I'm going to ask the chat. We'll take a quick break while you guys take a look at this, and I'm gonna ask chat. Steve racist?
Oh, let's go, everyone. Let's go. Do you think it's the because he's racist, he's not apologizing to me? calling me a fraud. Is that why? I don't know.
There you go. You guys have a nice little. Oh, yo, it gets worse. We're gonna keep going. This was just
what?
This was one topic out of 3.
Oh.
Remember
yes.
You see the title of the stream? 3 strikes and a
3
boom?
strikes. Get ready for more booms, boys and girls.
Oh
We'll
boy.
be right back.
This is only gonna get worse. I hope you guys have buckled in. We're ready for this. This is
up.
gonna be a good one.
Yeah, get your whatever vices you need to get through this stream. You need your smoke, or you need your wine,
Smoke and a
whiskey,
pancake.
whatever.
Smoke and a
Coffee,
pancake.
yes, pancakes. Whatever. Chocolate syrup, whatever. Ice cream, whatever. Get them because you're gonna need them.
Hello and welcome back. I hope you guys got whatever you felt like you needed. My hot water is still boiling. It's gonna take another minute or 2, but I wasn't gonna make you guys wait for my stupid ass. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciated if you are a supporter of the channel. Thank you so much. If your name is down here, special thank you to you as well. There are links to the Patreon down below if you're interested in supporting the channel and keeping us alive and going. Don't forget to like and share and leave us a comment in the future. I would also like to point out that we do this pretty much every Friday, except for the times that we're doing Volcanoes with Landon. So come and join us on Fridays for this show, as well as I'm live here on Tuesdays. usually doing kind of the same sort of thing, but a little bit more in depth. Last time I was complaining and showing you guys all about Tim Hortons and how Burger King wrecked them. So join us for that. If you are interested, I also do art, and that art happens on Twitch, and you can join us there. Manya also has a YouTube channel where she plays League of Legends, and it's hilarious, and I definitely recommend watching it. You're muted, Manya.
Sorry. Yeah, it's hilarious what I do in League of Legends. If you want to watch, you can watch.
Rez says I couldn't get anything. I was too busy slow blinking and taking in all that dumb.
Aw, Rez.
Alright, so I'm gonna end the poll and see what you guys got for us. I see that people were complaining that there was no turtle option. I apologize. I will try to make sure. I'm being protested that there needs to be a turtle option. I'll try and get you a turtle option next time. So, is Steve racist? 58% said yes.
Yes. Oh my
22% said yes, but.
Interesting.
12% said no, and only 6% said no, but. So, that's 70%.
Yeah.
Jesus.
People. Beejus.
Oh my god. Alright, hopefully this has been a little bit educational for you guys as well. I hope you've learned something.
Yeah.
I do try to make these at least a little bit productive, as much as we are having a bit
Yeah,
of a
don't listen to old white dudes on Twitter. Just do your own research. I did mine in we were 10 minutes before we were going to start, and I started looking into stuff. Yeah, you can do your own research, guys. Don't just blindly, and then give them a
80%.
pushback.
Sorry, yeah.
Oh,
80%. Not 70,
Yeah,
my
58,
mistake.
22, yeah. Oh, 80%. Oh my god.
80%.
Holy shite.
Landon, I would have voted for turtles. Okay, fair enough.
Aw.
Fine. I'll make sure there's turtles next time. I'm sorry. I'm a bad streamers. I mean, finish what you're saying, Manya.
What was I saying?
I don't know.
Yeah, just do your own research, guys, and be confident. And when you're giving pushback to others, don't let them gaslight you into thinking you got it all wrong. All right? Yeah, have faith in yourself. That's my message for today.
All right.
Thank you for coming by.
So if you guys are ready, we can dive into part 2.
Dive.
Are you a boy or a girl?
Oh god.
I have a picture of Professor Oak up on the screen. God damn it. I'm a failure. I didn't think about that until just now. Ugh. Alright.
Ah, dang it.
So this is the initial tweet, because I wanted to let you guys, give you guys the context of kind of what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. Landon says I'm an old white man and I no longer use Twitter. Yeah, see? Landon's out of the box. Unleashed Landon. Okay. This is from Nathan Williams complaining about a scientist who goes by PZ Myers. And they're talking about gender, right? So he's talking about, Egg Sacs Day is truly the day for love and romance, although all the sex happened last month and now it's only a single female mama, hashtag spider baby production. There's a couple other tweets that are embedded in that, but that's not really what we're focusing on. So you can feel free to go look it up if you want to see the entire conversation. It devolves pretty fucking goddamn fast.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just taking the nice little highlights, otherwise we'd be here for 3 days, and I did not want to comb through Steve's stupid fucking Twitter that long. Okay. Seriously, I took a quick peek just to make sure I didn't miss anything on these topics, and I shit you not, he is tweeting as if it's 2020. You could take a tweet from 2020 and look at a tweet from now, and they're the same tweet.
Oh no.
One thing I find gratifying is that sex denialists like PZ Myers wibble on about sex being socially constructed and bimodal. But when they actually want something done, in this case breeding spiders, they suddenly know that there are exactly 2 sexes and it's females that make eggs. Okay,
boy,
so clearly this person is having issues and they're conflating sexual identity or gender identity and what we consider biological sex, and even then it's a very not nuanced take, as we're going to learn. The thing that is important here is the concept of bimodal, and that it's females that make eggs. Alright, just keep those two things in mind.
Make note. Okay, females that lay eggs. Okay.
So, Reasons to Doubt makes a reasonable point. Go figure. A thing being bimodal and sometimes pragmatically treating things as binary with the understanding that that does not fully reflect reality are not mutually exclusive propositions. I think this is an amazing point. Sometimes it's pragmatic to treat things as if they are binary when they're not, because are you asking the spider's fucking opinion?
Or what they identify as? Are you?
No, because it's not about gender identity, it's about biological sex and whether or not they're capable of reproducing under X, Y, and Z, depending on what what stresses you're putting on the experiment, right? So, yeah, makes sense. Does that mean it's not more complicated than that? No, we're being pragmatic. We're being lazy, or we're being pragmatic, or we're simplifying things to make it easier. You know, like you would do for kids. When you say, you should treat everybody equally and fairly, no matter who they are or where they're from.
Right? Don't accuse them of fraud without any evidence.
Oh my god, yeah, are you teaching that to kindergartners in India?
I think so, yes. God, we have our own problems back home, Chesh.
No doubt. I'm not going to speak for PZ, but your criticism seems to fail out the gate. Also, people aren't spiders.
Yeah, fact.
So, Steve responds.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
If
we assume gender is distinct from biological sex, sex would be binary, and a gender is often said to be on a bimodal distribution, with two modes being male and female, with everyone falling somewhere in that distribution. Right? So you got one side, you got the other side, and you can fall anywhere within this spectrum. Here's the thing, and this is the same fucking argument that you hear when you're talking about atheism versus agnosticism versus a God belief. This is the same thing. When you have a binary, you actually have 4 options, right? And we've talked about this before, but I will explain. You have one, the other, neither, or both.
Yep.
Right? When you have 2, so that would mean that you have a 4-pointed option, not 2.
Yep.
So,
gotcha.
He is wrong. Just on the face of, just logically.
Yeah.
And the thing is these things are not even that uncommon, especially when you're applying it to what the initial statement was. Females make eggs. There are women who do not produce eggs.
They don't have their periods. Some women don't get their periods. Some women can't have children.
There are people
and some women are sometimes not born with essential ovaries also sometimes, if I'm not wrong. And
right.
Yeah. So that doesn't make them not female, if I might say.
Well, it also doesn't, but by this definition it would make them neither male nor female. Right? If you're saying that there's 2 and it's somewhere in here, any human could fall anywhere within this 4 spectrum if your caveat is to make something female, they're producing eggs.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
because
as if
we're not talking about identity, we're talking about biological.
Yeah, biological.
So, within that concept, now, this continues. This is a direct continuation. So if you want to go look, you can find the whole conversation. That depends on how you define sex. Oh, hey, that's that thing I just said.
Hey!
That is messy as well, and likely you'll be forced with either a long definition full of exceptions to fully encapsulate everyone, or a simple definition with an asterisk that not everyone will fit neatly into one box or the other. Right? Biological. In Homo sapiens sapiens, there's a male, a female. There are no other possibilities. We just know that's not the case. I have yet to read a biology textbook which ever claims otherwise. Creation myths. A biologist. A biologist comes in.
Oh, Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Sex is way more complicated than male and female. Steve, who clearly has read some textbooks about biology, apparently, according to him, then says to the biologist, really? No biology textbook ever says there are more than 2 biological sexes for mammals. Seems simple to me. Determining sex may be complicated, but all mammals are either male or female. There is no other class. And as you recall, a minute ago I just explained how even by his own definition and terminology, you would still end up with 2 others on the outside of that binary line.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my fucking lord. And the first line he says, no biological text. You know? I'm like, Steve, you have read all of them? All of them?
Oh no, he's not even saying text. He's saying textbooks. He's specifying.
Oh, so you have read all the textbooks. Oh, so you read all the textbooks, do you? I fucking guarantee you didn't read as much as I did. I promise you, because I even know that it's not.
Reasons to doubt comes in swinging here. If a biologist tells you it's complicated and you find yourself replying that you think the biology is simple, you're probably wrong.
Dude,
nonsense.
Oh.
Here we go. I know a lot of PhDs in biology and never have any told me there are more than 2 biological sexes for humans. No textbooks I've ever read in biology ever said that humans have more than 2 sexes. None. Alright, chat. You want to name that fallacy?
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, guys.
I believe in you. I know you guys know this. I'm ending the poll, and it turns out Turtles won, by the way.
And we win with a unanimous applause. Yay, Turtles! Turtles.
Alright. The Black Swan or argument from ignorance. I've never seen it, therefore it doesn't exist.
Therefore. Yeah, that's why I asked. Did you read all the biology textbooks, Steve? Did you?
Alright. I'd maybe quibble with more than, because it's a continuous distribution rather than discrete categories, but now one has. You're welcome. In response to the biologist, Steve says, well, when your views are put in college textbooks, I'll take more notice. Alright, Steve. When you're actually in philosophical work, we'll take more notice. When you actually have any kind of law paper that you've written that actually gets used in classes for CRT, then maybe we'll give 2 shits about what you have to say. And maybe when you have any kind of, like, field work done or authorship when it comes to people who are trans, then maybe we'll care about the next topic. Mr. I went to nuke school. You're muted, Manya. Did your thing come unplugged? Manya's broken! We lost Manya. Yeah, she's leaving and come back in. Freeze frame! Freeze frame! The turtle fallacy. Old white man fallacy. Appeal to textbook. Yeah, hey, isn't this the same guy who said things shouldn't be taught in school, not even in college? Yes. Correct.
Please work.
Hey, hello. Hi, Manya.
Yeah, okay.
Welcome back.
Okay.
What were you trying to say?
So, yeah, what was I trying to say?
I don't know, the arrogance of this statement got me.
Yeah.
That's something special.
Maybe I'll complete that for you. Maybe we'll take your knowledge in nuclear physics seriously when you get a degree in nuclear physics and publish your work in nuclear physics. Get out of here, you asshole.
I mean, by this expectation, because it says specifically college textbooks. Like, people write papers that don't end up in college textbooks all the time, that are either advanced in their field, or they're in their field but not applicable to college students. Shocking, I know. Bizarre. Not all of the world of wealth knowledge is taught to, in any particular field, is taught to college students via textbook. But Steve's not in a fucking college textbook, in anything, as far as I know, and because I don't know about it, it possibly can't exist. I've read every textbook, literally all of them. I've read every single textbook that's ever been printed.
That's what he sounds like, guys. That's what he sounds like.
Oh yeah, chat knows. It gets worse. It's gonna get worse.
Oh.
Seriously,
Really?
did any university teach you this, though? I'm guessing no.
Oh.
Do you think Steve knows that the curriculum is always behind the science?
Always. Always. And I think so by minimum 5 years, if I'm not wrong. 5 to 7 years.
This boy's lost his whole damn mind. So to be clear, you are in fact saying, as a PhD in biology, that the species Homo sapiens sapien are no longer a gametic, dimorphic species, as of when and who teaches this? That's not what he said.
No,
he said it was
don't put words in his
complicated.
mouth. Yeah, don't put words in his mouth. Stop that bullshit.
Steve is to CRT biology and transgenderism as R and Raw is to Rocks being atheist.
Yes, yes, yes.
Bearded Heretic says yes. Undergraduate level textbooks should not be used as an example for the most up-to-date research. Correct. Anyway, this
Anyways,
this proceeded to like just escalate and devolve into absolute nonsense. I have a screenshot here. Give me a second to pull it up. Where did I put that one? Because it didn't end up in my file somehow. Uno momento.
Oh.
I got it. It's just gonna take me a second to grab it. I know I have it because I sent it to Dapper.
Okay.
This is where
pick it
Dr.
up from there.
Yeah, I got a screenshot of Dr. Dan winning the conversation.
Yes.
Because I thought this would be a really good place to drop this one. Here we go. Nope, wrong one. Sorry, that's the racist one. Hold on. There we go.
Racist one.
Sorry, one sec. That's the racist one. It is still this file, though. Oh my god, Steve, I didn't call you a racist. Chat just voted that you were racist, and I just said you said something that was racist. Anyway.
Yeah.
Splitting hairs or playing semantic games. If you're defining sex as the capacity to make either egg or sperm, it's simple. There are people who do not have the capacity to do either and never did. Therefore, they are neither male nor female. So there are more than two categories. Steve, as a condescending piece of shit that he is, says, as explained, humans are bipedal. Being born without legs does not mean they are not still Homo sapiens sapiens.
That's not what he said.
Because having no legs doesn't make you not bipedal. You still have hips, you still have the construction of a bipedal creature.
Exactly. I think so Steve is agreeing here with him, but he thinks that the guy is talking something else entirely. I think so he's agreeing here.
No, he's disagreeing. Right? Listen,
He said,
as explained, humans are bipedal. So he's disagreeing. Dr. Dan is saying, no, there's more than two categories. Here's an example. And he's saying just because you aren't born with the capability of reproducing doesn't mean that you're not in that category. But he's completely missing the entire point of the discussion. The point of the discussion is, if you define female as being able to produce eggs, which is what was discussed initially and what Steve is arguing for throughout this entire thread, then this would be the case. Steve flips that to say, if you're born without legs, it doesn't mean you're not human.
Yeah, that's not the same.
Being bipedal is not the only requirement to being a human. If it was the only requirement of being a human, I recommend you read Diogenes and grab a chicken, throw it at him, and say, "Behold, a man," because chickens are bipedal.
Oh wow. So I got it. So what he's doing is he's conflating two entirely different things. We're talking about biological sexes. Yeah, we're talking about two biological sexes, and he's bringing up one other feature of Homo sapiens. That's not comparable. If you said bipedal or something, then we might start talking about it. But this is totally not on the same level. Sorry, Steve. Your analogy is not correct in this case.
I've also been past this in whatever, fine.
In the chat.
Female eggs grown in male testes.
Oh boy. Here we go.
To say that eggs grow
them?
only in females and sperm grow only in males seems a pretty uncontroversial statement, but Japanese research have shown that it is not as simple as that by nurturing female eggs in the testes of male mice.
Science for you.
Wow, it's almost like it's more complicated than that.
Yeah.
It's almost like trying to label something based on such narrow terms ends up backfiring and blowing up in your whole ass fucking face.
It looks like, Steve, you stopped reading after 2020. You stopped reading biology after 2020. That's what it seems like.
Well, you can't learn if you're right all the time.
Yeah.
Anyway, he says
and
after
he's right
this,
all the time.
Besides his fallacious bullshit argument that doesn't make any sense, he then says, "Still waiting for evidence. I have asked now how many times. I will read whatever college biology book you have that now says there are more than two gamanic sexes." Okay, so
it's not his job. It's not his job to give you biology books. Go out and read stuff, you asshole. And it might not be even in the college level biology books. It might be in research papers. So you need to go out and search for them, you asshole. Just because it's
Skeletor in the chat made the exact comment I was about to say. Why does he ask for evidence and then limits it to college textbooks? Yeah. College textbooks aren't research papers. They're not evidence. They're a summation of what current science is saying about a topic. That doesn't mean it's inherently correct, nor does it mean it's not more nuanced than that. And you're limiting it to college for some reason. But if you're asking for evidence, you should be looking for, at best, research papers, because that's not what college textbooks even are in the first place. College textbooks don't have evidence in them. That's not what they do. It's like a dictionary.
Yeah. Unless
a description.
Unless they provide an index at the end where all the references are, if they are referring to something. But I don't think so. College level biology texts do that.
So, Dr. Dan responds, "I'm not providing a textbook because textbooks are not authoritative, and I'm not going to act as though they are. I don't use them if I can avoid it, which I mostly do. Because that's not what Dr. Dan does. Dr. Dan is a PhD. Speaking of which, he's going to be coming on next week, so you should totally come and check that out, by the way."
Oh, wow. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Hey.
So, that was the most dumb part of this. It definitely escalated to people just telling him he's wrong and telling him in exactly what ways he's wrong, and him just shitting. Did Steve considered wearing diapers for the amount he is literally just shitting his pants? Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding?
Amber Heard would like a word on shitting the bed. My God. My dude, please get a hold of yourself.
You're getting worse than Amber Heard here. She dropped one turd and you are dropping so many. Stop.
She needs lessons from Steve. Bruh. Bro moment.
Bruh. God.
So.
This guy.
So. Now we move on to topic number 3.
Oh, finally. Okay, cool.
because this gets worse.
Oh, for fucking... Oh, sorry. I shouldn't swear.
What?
But-
Why? This is Dumb Fekk Friday. What the hell? When was that not okay?
Alright, what the fucking hell? It gets worse. Oh, God. This dense motherfucker. Baka.
Alright. So Michael Knowles, who is a political commentator, had some opinions about trans people, and he made quite the speech at CPAC that people were kind of upset about because he said transgenderism needs to be eradicated. So anybody out there got a definition for me about what transgenderism is? Because I know there's been a few that I've seen kicking around. One of them is just, being trans. Anybody out there got another one for me? I have one that I can pull up here. You got a guess, Manya?
No, I'm afraid. I'm sorry.
No, just take it like your best guess. What do you think transgenderism is?
Someone... I don't know. It sounds like ism kind of gets into ideology and stuff and lifestyle and all that stuff, I guess. So yeah, maybe in... Yeah, so it's like... Yeah, it's like in that sense, like people are living a certain lifestyle or an optional lifestyle, if I might say, or following an optional ideology that they can switch from, I guess. That's the best shot I can give you. I'm sorry.
Helios for 5 says, fun science fact time. Humans are genetically capable of parthenogenesis, female fertilizing their own eggs, and we can't know if that has ever happened.
Yeah.
It's too complicated to define clearly. An ideology. Transgenderism, the belief that transgender individuals should have the same rights as others and to be unharassed in their life. That's a conspiracy. Yeah.
Oh, it's a conspiracy. Interesting.
So, no, this is... that's... Alright, so Bearded Heretic gave a pretty good one on Twitter that I'm going to read out.
Go for it.
It's the conspiracy theory that there is a trans agenda similar to the homosexual agenda from the early 90s. It includes ideas that trans people want to invade cis women's spaces to sexually assault them. They want to indoctrinate children to question their gender identity and turn them trans. They want to groom and sexualize children. They want to deny biological sex's existence and utilize their gender identity to reinforce the patriarchy from within female spaces. Now, a lot of this is familiar because most of it was also used to discriminate against gay people within recent memory. Example, gay men just want to turn your husband gay and steal them. They want to groom children, etc., etc. It is baseless nonsense that is peddled by people who are bigots.
Okay, so that's where it's going.
So
I was partially right. That it's a kind of...
Right, so to eradicate transgenderism that doesn't exist, how are you supposed to eradicate it?
Yeah.
Without removing trans people, because the assumption and the conspiracy is that trans people are trying to do this?
Yeah.
Alright. So, yeah, he did say this. He is playing a semantic game. He's playing a semantic game. And we're gonna see... Yep.
We're seeing that's what a majority of white supremacists or people who back white supremacy do. They talk in nuance semantics so they can get away to say stuff. And the main goal of theirs is to impart a message.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. The message was quite clear.
Too, right? It's like the big conservative rally thing.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter what the semantics are. They are imparting a message, and that's all the audience needs to absorb. And that speech did that. Simple as that.
Anyway, this guy works for the Daily Wire, by the way. So surprise, surprise that this is the kind of shit he's saying at a political conference.
Yeah.
Well, probably, if you guys want, we can look into him a little bit more if you want, but I thought the context was important. So Vosh responded, right? And Vosh says, no, you just dog whistled it. How exactly do you eradicate transgenderism from public life without eradicating trans people? It's basically just trying to shove trans people back in the closet, and if not, or else. Like, be back in the closet or else. You don't get to dress the way you want to dress in the street. You're not even allowed to, like, behave specific. Like, you're not allowed to appear the way you want to appear when you go and pick up your kids from school or whatever, yada 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 yada. Not that any of them would recognize a trans person at a glance for the most part.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's the same way like they used to say, like, there's certain characteristics, or you can say physical characteristics that you can use to judge whether someone is gay or not gay or
Oh,
is heterosexual.
have you seen like the transgentificate, like the ones where they're trying to identify trans people in media? Dude, that shit's hilarious.
What?
Horribly transphobic, but oh my god, is it fucking funny watching. Russian Vids is one of these people.
What?
Yeah, who's like, oh, Michelle Obama's definitely a man.
Oh, honey, are you jealous of her height?
I'm jealous of her arms. God damn. Anyway.
Damn, yeah.
If a pundit claimed they wanted to eradicate Judaism from public life, how would you interpret that statement?
Ooh, yeah, shots fired.
How do you eradicate Judaism without getting rid of all of those Jews? So, Jewish Steve responds to Vosh. I told you this only gets worse. It blows my mind that someone can take eradicate transgenderism to mean eradicate transgender. One is an ideology, the other the individuals who hold it. This is absolute dog whistling at its finest. Eradicate porn doesn't equal eradicate porn stars. Sir, how could you be a porn star if porn does not exist?
Yeah. What the fuck? Is it... What? This guy, he's going senile. That's the only explanation, the sane explanation that I can come up with. He's going senile. That's what's happening.
Marsh Smith for 5 pointed out, for 5 said, as Sir has pointed out, this is a step in the 10 steps to genocide. Yeah, it is.
Yep.
Now we're just saying the ideology, and like we're well aware of what like the Republican Party and people on the Daily Wire like to expound at their rallies, right?
Yeah, that's how it started with Hitler also. Hitler started the same way. So, yeah, Steve, what the fuck?
So, besides the fact that this is absolutely idiotic, and that it blows his mind that people would view it that way, is just like, does it now? Does that blow your mind? Especially since the ideology is a fear-mongering tactic in the first place. The ideology doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. Or he could... Okay. Maybe I'll be charitable to him. Maybe he was trying to say...
Now you're gonna be charitable to him? After the comments about CRT and his ignorance and that, and the pundit he's reading from, and after him trying to spit in the face of actually a pretty well-known, like, in that area, or I should say in that field, but in like the debunking group.
Okay.
Now you're gonna.
I got it. Okay, got it. No, I'm not going to be charitable. All right. Let's move.
You can if you want to be. I'm just saying.
Nah, it's just like that. He was trying to say that transgenderism is.
Landon, that's how Cartman started.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So I don't know, man. It just like. It sounded like he was trying to say something else, but yeah,
Here's the thing. He's playing a semantic game. He's saying that getting rid of transgenderism and the ideology doesn't mean getting rid of the people who hold the ideology, or the individuals. It means what?
Yeah.
What would that entail, Steve? Especially from people who are blatant advocates This guy right here, this Michael Knowles guy.
Yeah.
Part of his argument is that trans people don't exist. He doesn't believe they exist.
Yeah, that there are certain population of males and females that have an agenda. That's what it, implies. If I'm not wrong, that's what he's implying. And Steve is playing right into it. Right into it.
And this is the thing, right? What's the point of this semantic argument? Everybody, he knows, this guy knows what he meant. The people at the rally knew what he meant. Transgender people know what he meant. Basically, anybody who had two brain cells to rub together knows exactly what this guy means. So if this is exactly what this guy means, what's the point in arguing semantics?
Yeah.
Besides propping it up.
Yeah, and giving it validation in some reason.
Well,
in some
excusing it up to this point, now excusing it up to this point, now excusing it up to this point.
Where does it stop, Steve? Where does it stop? And it's not bringing anything new to the current situation or problem that we have with that speech or that situation. It's just splitting hairs, nothing else. You're not bringing anything new to this, Steve. Stop with your definitions already, please. Stop.
So
that's not how world works.
This conversation escalated with Arnsgar and Frustrated Atheist to the point where Steve finally said, 100%, I'm not MAGA, not fundamentalist, not a Christian, not a conservative, not a bigot, not a transphobe.
Oh, really?
Not an anti-Semite, not a rape apologist. I'm someone who thinks the best way to resolve things is by having honest dialogue, and that is something some just can't have.
What about eradicating transgenderism gives you an idea that there's an honest dialogue going on there? There's no honest dialogue going on there in the first place, Steve. What the fuck?
What about when asked for a primary source of the original proponents of CRT and you providing a Newsweek article written by two racists?
Yeah.
Is, well documented, is honest dialogue.
Fuck. Opinion pieces are not honest dialogue, you dipshit.
What about
in simple terms?
What about being a condescending piece of shit and going for college textbooks as evidence and throwing these questions out as if they're not loaded as fuck in the first place, and shifting goalposts and dropping fallacy after fallacy as if you ate Taco Bell and then also decided to take a fucking like a dietary pill.
Yeah, at the same time. Or you had a cheese sandwich and decided to have 5 of them.
Steve's evolution into just turning into a full-on colostomy bag.
I don't get it, but I will
douchebag.
search for it.
Douchebag.
Okay.
Douchebag.
Gotcha. Thank you. God.
Mark also makes a really good point. If he's talking about porn, right? And I'm gonna point this one out again because I think that's a really good point. Porn is a product. Porn star is a job. You can just decide to not be a porn star anymore and just not do porn anymore. You don't get to choose to not be trans anymore. There are people who are detransitioning, but that doesn't make them not trans.
Yeah.
That's a whole other discussion.
Yeah.
Which we can have at some point if you're interested.
Yeah, there's body dysmorphia and all that shit.
There's a lot of things wrapped in around it. It's complicated, and that's okay, and that's fine, and that makes it a difficult conversation, and that's fine. But having an honest, open, difficult conversation is not, we need to eradicate this group of people.
Yeah. That's the problem, I think, so a lot of Democrats have been criticized for. some Democrats have been criticized for, because they also go along the same lines. I think so they are not Democrats anymore. They become centrist because they are like, oh, we need to have an honest dialogue. I'm like, it's no use when the honest side starts with a dishonest dialogue. It's no use.
Right.
It's no use to try and talk to, a person who's already started a narrative, because your premise is wrong from the start.
Right. Yeah. It wasn't honest to begin with. It's so there's this thing that I like to talk about that's called fake neutrality, right? And fake neutrality means that you're playing in the set, you're trying to be neutral about a topic, but the scales have tipped so far in one way where you step on the other scale to try and balance them out. That's what Steve is doing. This is 100%. This is not a neutral thing. This is not an honest discussion. This is somebody preaching to the choir hatred towards a group of people who have done nothing to anybody outside of wanting to just live their lives and being able to go to the grocery store and not be harassed and attacked in the street. And he's like, "Oh, come on, everybody, let's be fair. Come on, let's be reasonable." And all this does is protect transphobic assholes who are probably also fascists. So let's throw this in here a little bit. I'm gonna throw fascists in here. So I'm gonna ask our next question. Make sure I spell it right. Is Steve fascist? Calling for not educating people on things and withholding information from people, eradicating any opposition or opposing opinions to whatever he's saying. Helios for 10 said, this is to look at my part in the thread just linked in your Discord. Oh, do you want me to pop that up? We can pop that up.
Yeah.
Before we, I'll just grab that. Yes. I'll have to just switch windows here real quick. Oop.
God.
I can't. This was what Helios had said.
I won't. I think so. It's about time we started doing that. I'm just saying. Don't harass the guy, by the way. But yeah.
Oh, this is all from before.
Don't take it seriously.
All this stuff has happened before we got here.
Yeah.
Don't even worry about it. I'm gonna light this place on fire because I don't know what else.
Yes, please.
I don't know what else to do with this information.
Yeah. It's so.
Move it down a little bit. There we go. So
I had never imagined that there will be one day where I'll be sitting in on a show and taking apart Steve's narrative or reasoning or logic and telling him that he is talking out of his ass.
Oh, I told him if he was doing this kind of shit, I'd do this thing to him, so this is not a surprise to me. If I was still working with him, I'd be doing this. Actually, to be honest, if I was still working with him, this wouldn't have happened because I'd be in the background being like, are you fucking stupid? You don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, not only is Steve not being honest in any of the things we've covered so far, Arnscar said, none of us said you were any of those things, Steve. So speaking of being honest, nobody said he was a Christian, nobody said he was transphobic, nobody said he was an anti-Semitic, nobody said he was a bigot.
Yeah,
none of us said
that.
None of us said you were any of those things, Steve. We said you were being an ass and focusing on a bullshit semantic argument while ignoring the real-world implications of what the man said. He said what he said. He meant it the way it sounded. Correct.
Exactly.
I agree with Arnsgar 100% here.
Yeah, Steve is assuming that the side that used that word is is honestly making a mistake. I think so. That's what he's assuming.
I don't think so. He's saying that people are trying to paint this guy as saying something he didn't say, but they're not.
Oh, okay. Okay. He went that far. Okay, cool.
Yeah. It's funny that he completely ignored me, meaning Steve, but decided to go after something absolutely no one said. That's a very honest approach to an open dialogue, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like you accuse people of fraud just because a customer service rep said, "Oh yeah, maybe it was a chargeback."
So I've literally been called all those things before. Some recently. I was called a Nazi twice and alt-right. You're wrong. How?
The people. Oh God.
You being called this in the past does not mean it's equivalency to these people are the ones who did it in this conversation.
Yeah, they didn't do this to you. Why are you projecting that onto them? Now
Because
they're trying to have an honest dialogue with you, and you're refusing to have that.
Yep. In this thread, no one has called you that. I did say you were going down the alt-right pipeline, but that was on an entirely different thread, not even remotely linked to this one.
Yeah, and that's very different from calling someone the Nazi or, the other thing. Yeah, it's very different.
Ansgar, who has been friendly with Steve in the past, no shade there, perfect as far as I know, well liked between the two. I don't know how much they interacted with each other in the background, but
yeah,
Ansgar says to him, Steve, honestly, as a friend, get over yourself. You sound like a self-important jackass right now. Steve's big old baby response, throwing a whole ass fucking Twitter tantrum. Remember when I said this escalated?
Ay. Oh God.
This is not the advice of a friend. Muted. I like how he's gone from block, he's specifically muting people, not blocking them. Because he doesn't want, the negative connotation that comes with blocking people, because he thinks people are going to call him, Steve Shives, which is basically what he's doing.
I think so. What he's hoping is that after this disagreement, Ansgar will be on the same page with him the next time they might talk together or speak
I
with
know
each
that's
other.
going to happen anytime soon.
I don't think so.
I have zero respect or tolerance for personal attacks against me. None of us said you were these things.
Yeah. What the fuck, man?
Let people scream into the void. I have no desire to listen to anyone who wants to shut down dialogue by hyperbolic language. Never again.
You are the one using hyperbolic language, you asshole! Oh my fucking lord.
Behold, a man.
This is how echo chambers form. We are viewing it live, how echo chambers form. When your friends start telling you, get over yourself, and you say, muted, yeah.
I like how he's totally fine with being a condescending asshole to other people, but somebody is like, hey, you're kind of being a bit of a... You sound like a self-important jackass. Yeah. Not even, you are a self-important jackass. Hey, you're coming off real bad. Maybe you should take a step back. Muted!
Yeah.
Fuck you!
Muted.
Personal attacks! Me.
God.
Never again. He's so traumatized.
Aww.
This is not the advice of a friend. Yeah, it is, actually. That's the way friends talk to each other. I'm sure you must be unaware of this since you don't really have any friends anymore. But yeah, we all used to talk to each other like that all the fucking time, so I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. It's called being honest, and not dick sucking. You don't need to suck the dicks of your friends. That's the point of being friends.
Yeah. Funny what happens when you lose friends that, that call you out.
EMP for 5 said, fun fact, a true friend will always tell you if they think you're being dysfunctional because they care.
Yeah. Exactly.
Alright, so let's go up here a little bit. Arsgar says, spends full two days trying to apply a flowery interpretation to the words of a piece of shit calling for genocide on trans people, then whines and plays the victim when people tell him he is being a jackass. Farewell, dickhead. And I gotta say, that's a
very good send off, if I might say.
Why in what world does it make sense to be so charitable to someone you don't know who is purposefully being inflammatory and hyperbolic, specifically against a conspiracy theory made to dehumanize and weaponize individuals against this group of people who have done nothing, and going out of your way to be like, oh, let's have an honest dialogue, everybody, about this thing. That's not really what he said, and make this bullshit semantic argument. Then somebody says, hey, you kind of sound like a jackass. My pearls! My pearls!
How dare you?
Is that the Greta that you just did?
Yes. Oh, God.
So, is Steve a fascist? Yes, no. 69% yes.
Ooh.
Interesting.
I think that some people are still giving him charity, and they're maybe thinking that he's talking past other people. But no, it's quite clear. But it's okay. It's okay.
What do you mean? There's just like Steve's just watching on 3 accounts.
Probably.
Running jokes are running.
Hey, did he do his episode on the other channel, the NSS channel yet? I don't think so. He talked about this yet on his channel. Steve, take notes.
He did say he was there was something about that he was gonna do this, and I did see somebody saying that maybe he wanted Arnscar to go on and talk with him about this. But I find that a little bit hard to believe that Arnscar A is gonna do that, or B that this stream is going to be like worth anything. Like, I kind of suspect that. We could watch it maybe in the Discord if people are interested in a follow up, but.
Yeah, no. What I was saying was that he said on Twitter that he will do a live stream on and talk on his channel. He didn't do on the Non Sequitur Show channel. He hasn't scheduled anything on it, but he said he would do it on that channel. So I was like, did he do that? He hasn't done it. And he did a 1-hour live stream on his own channel, Transgenderism, a talk about a talk, where he talks to himself.
Oh boy. Landon's trying to cause me self-harm. Landon says, I would challenge Chesh to have a moderated debate with Steve on a neutral platform on the 3 topics raised on this show, moderated for time and preventing interruptions. It would be informative. Sure.
Actually.
I mean, it wouldn't be. I don't view that as much of a challenge, but
it's no challenge.
I feel like there might be some priority conversations that would have to happen with Steve first. And once those were resolved in a meaningful way, then
because Chesh is gonna dance around Steve and he's gonna throw a tantrum. That's what's gonna happen.
Bruh. My first ever real debate is with fucking Steve over CRT.
CRT, yeah. Transgenderism.
Set the requirement that Landon has to be the moderator. You know, that was the first thing I thought.
Yeah.
Landon has to be the moderator.
He proposed it. He can endure it.
So Landon can be the moderator. It'll be me versus Steve. We'll talk about these 3 topics, and we can do it on my channel, but I won't be in control of the channel. I'll give control of the channel over to Dapper. And then so Dapper can just run it in the background. There you go.
Yep. Sounds fair.
You have to take Chris as the neutral moderator / sarcasm.
Oh, God. Yay.
Anyway, so Steve had to go run away and lick his wounds by going over to his butt buddy Chris. I'm over it. I tried resetting the combo, but virtue signalers can't let it go.
Dude, you are the one who's virtue signaling by talking, like by splitting hairs.
Well,
that's what you're doing.
He's virtue signaling to. Well, he's dog whistling is more what he's doing rather than virtue signaling. I guess they would be considered virtues to, like, transphobic people.
Probably. Yeah. Okay, yeah, dog whistling.
But he's taking people being critical and he's trying to undermine it by just saying it's virtue signaling. Right?
Yeah.
So, you wanted to have an open dialogue, but then anybody who disagreed with you, you just dismissed.
Yeah.
Right? So I've muted them all.
All.
Don't need their bullshit, as they clearly are not capable of honest dialogue on political issues they disagree with.
Somebody tell Steve it's long past having an honest dialogue.
No,
It's long past that, buddy.
I have a different one for you.
Go on.
Hold on.
I
I just wanna. I have this lovely thing set up right here. I just wanted to put it up for you. It's a projector!
Oh! Hey! Oh, God.
Cause, like...
That's what happens when you project your... I think so he's still, like, he's still not got over the breakup that we had. I think so that's what's happening. He's not still gotten over it.
Well, apparently, my ears started burning while I was skimming through some of these after what people were sending me, and I saw one of somebody saying that, apparently they brought me up and got blocked, like, done.
Oh.
And I was like, I'm sorry, what? My super ears are burning. So yeah, apparently he's still lying to people about that situation. But no surprise there. As much as they're, like, I'm pretty sure both of us have an admitted bias against Steve, I really don't think that has anything to do with CRT or being wrong about gender and the... I don't think anything in this has...
I went to Britannica, please. I started with Britannica. What more can I do for you, Steve? Take notes.
And Bearded Heretic... so just to make a couple of points here, Bearded Heretic makes a good point. It says transgenderism is political. It has to be, right? That's what it's about.
Yeah.
And then he says this is the exact issue, treating people's actual lives as just political and pretending that there are no real-world consequences. Mr. Serious says dog whistling is troublesome. It's hard to pinpoint, but I always feel gross when it's happening. Feline says, what are the odds that Steve would be watching this and just like the meme of revealing truth scroll, throws it away, all this fair criticism in rejection to protect his fifis?
I bet he will do that.
Yes?
I bet.
All of the above?
You can make a poll. You can make a poll. If you want. Will he reject this fair criticism, just cause his fifis, or he will accept it and change his attitude and his wording or his opinion, I might dare say, about his friends who were trying to, tell him that he's being a jackass.
I'm not really... Here's the thing with having, like, a debate about, like, let's say CRT with Steve. Why? It's like, what it's gonna be is a debate.
Who asked you?
Well, it's gonna be a debate about him debating this one thing, which is what Fox News pundits have put forward, and then discussing what CRT actually is, and then conflating that into a potential conversation which is the conflation of CRT with the teaching of race in schools, and, like, talking about how, like, society functions. And the thing is that's a difficult thing to do, and it's not always done well, but so what does the conclusion end up being?
Yeah.
Right? Like,
you're just wrong, dude.
Is the conclusion don't mention race in school ever?
Yeah. What are you talking about? You're not clear. You're not clear what your final intention is. And I think so that's what we commented, that he's not telling what his opinions are on CRT, isn't it? He never mentioned what his opinion is. Or did he? He said that he doesn't want it to be taught in kindergartens.
I don't even think I would be the best person to have this debate. I think there are absolutely people who are well more versed in this than I am that could present it a lot better than I could. So, I mean, I would actually encourage a debate that isn't me with Steve about the topic. It's somebody who's actually better at it.
Yeah.
Or has more education in it, because the fuck am I? Anyway.
Oh my goodness. I found a tweet. Hold on. I need to send you this. I don't know if you would like to show it. I was just searching bullshit, but I found this. It might be of use.
Yeah, we have like two smaller things to look at, because this is the boom, right? This is the boom we're looking at right now. The three topics and then boom. I think I have been abundantly tolerant, but enough. Sure you do.
Uh-huh.
Chris says, I find those who virtue signal the loudest are often the most problematic.
Oh, here comes in Chris. Fondling Steve's balls.
Chris, come on, you gotta lick his wounds for him.
Yeah.
After Arnsgar kicked him in the dick. This is not the advice of a friend. Muted. I rest my case. I'm not interested in your level of dialogue.
What happened, Steve? Too much for you? Too much intellectual dialogue for you? Is it?
Nope, you have recused yourself from the dialogue by personal attacks rather than discussing the topic. I have a zero tolerance policy for that. Then don't watch. Your opinion won't be of any value or allowed anyways.
Ooh.
My new motto, change my mind, don't change me. I can defend it fine, lol. I'm going to be streaming on this, just not going to discuss with you. Anyone who thinks I, of all people, have an echo chamber is exactly who shouldn't be having difficulty discussions. I want to hear disagreements. I don't want to hear personal attacks that try to shut down dialogue. Nor should I have to, nor will I. I will just mute.
So Steve got his fifis heard because someone called him a jackass.
This was before that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
This was before that. We went backwards.
Oh, okay. Oh,
What's
boy.
NSS's catchphrase again? Never follow?
Oof. Oh, God. I sent you something in the Discord if you want to talk about that as a last thing. Or we can, yeah.
Landon asks if he convinces Steve, no guarantee, Steve might view me as neutral. Might view me as neutral.
might.
To agree to a strictly controlled, moderated debate on some third-party channel moderated by me, would you do it? Maybe. I don't know if there'd be much value in it, but for funsies.
Yeah, why not? For funsies.
I would want to know what the third party... Oh, all opinions are sacred? Oh, you want to go with opinions are sacred. Oh.
Wasn't it all informed opinions are sacred?
Yeah. With how informed Steve's opinions are on these topics.
Yeah. The Newsweek article is so informative.
Steve is so boomer, he thought the CRT debate was about computer monitors.
Or it was about
Yeah, Dapper's got it. I charge an appearance fee.
Hey,
there you go.
Something like 3 years worth of full-time salary. This is awesome.
Amazing.
Oh, God.
But this is the thing, right? He's entering these conversations because you saw in all three, he was entering into a conversation. People disagreed with him, and then he got mad, got condescending, and then was like, "Why are you telling me I'm a jackass? You're a bad person." You're shutting down dialogue, not me. It's not my behavior or anything I'm doing. It's you.
I came in, trampled over everything, and then I went out saying, "Oh my God, my toe hurts."
You're denying the fundamental core tenet of CRT. CRT is literally formed from black power and radical feminism activism. You do realize this, right? Not all activism is CRT, of course not. The fuck?
What the fuck, Nani? Yeah, that's why I was like, what Nani the fuck?
What? Huh?
Nani?
I don't... Okay. Sure. I have two other ones for you guys. Because I thought these are just like little highlights that I thought were really, really funny.
Yeah.
And so this is in. This one is in line with what you just shared, and then I have one other one that was separated that I just want to grab.
Yeah, go for it.
Here it is. Want to read that one, Vanya?
The biggest winner for women is a biological male. The patriarchy always wins, apparently.
You see who's tagged in that?
Oh. Oh. Oh, dear Lord. Is he listening to Jordan Peterson? Oh my fucking.
Remember that guy he defended in that other tweet we showed was somebody who worked for the Daily Wire? Who else works for the Daily Wire? Jordan Peterson?
Oh no. Oh no.
Meanwhile, if you go and look, he decries himself as a centrist.
Yeah. Which is like, and someone commented that that's a cowardly position to take.
What, being a centrist?
Yeah. Someone said, in their opinion, that it's a cowardly.
You can criticize both sides and not be a centrist. Like, I can say that I don't think that the push and harassment of streamers over Hogwarts Legacy was effective, but that's not the equivalent of saying we need to eradicate transgenderism. One is clearly a little bit more of an escalation than the other. That doesn't mean both don't have problems, it's just the level at which they're problematic is not equal or fair or the same.
Yeah.
Here it is.
So you get your... Oh.
He tweeted this out during this whole situation. He's writing
6 hours
poetry!
Oh.
6 hours ago from when it was sent to me.
Oh, okay.
We yell, but we yell into the void. We scream, but we are not heard. We shout, but we are shouted over. We holler, but we have no voice. We talk, but no one listens. The struggle of a centrist is real.
Oh, God.
He's so dramatic. Oh,
woe me.
Somebody said I sounded like a jackass. I must clutch my pearls. My life is so hard. I'm being shouted over. You know that your voice is being taken away when people respond to you and you have to mute them all.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's as if like you're taking yourself out of a conversation that you left because it hurt your peepees.
The world's smallest violin really needs an audience. Yeah, I'd have to, if I was actually going to debate Steve about this kind of stuff, I would actually have to, like, take that into consideration. I'd have to think about it, because I don't know if it would be, like, adding to more of a problem. You know what I mean? It, like Bill Nye debating Ken Ham, right? Like, is that really a good idea? Or is anything that Steve has said through any of this actually debatable? I don't even know if that's anything that he's just said has been even debatable. He's just fucking wrong.
I think so. What he did was he went online, he searched, and the first thing he got, he clicked on it, and then just maybe read like first 3 lines of it, and then said, "Oh yeah, I know about this topic."
Yeah, but you Googled CRT, and you found Britannica on the first page of Google, so what the fuck is Google catering Steve's fucking search history to if he's getting what he did with Newsweek?
No
so either he's catered his Google searches so far to the right that this is not being a centrist. This isn't what being a centrist is. This is fake neutrality, like I discussed earlier.
Yeah, so when I searched for CRT, the first article was obviously Wikipedia, and then the next one was Edweek, and then Wikipedia, and then Britannica.com.
In space, no one can hear you ramble. Define centrist. Steve is creating an echo chamber of just himself. It's just him and Chris, apparently. It's not like you're platforming him, he has his own platform. Yeah, that's a good point. It's I just don't know if, like, even pretending that anything that we've looked at in this entire stream actually has any value.
Yeah,
Besides my own entertainment of finding this hilarious.
Yeah, because he's so wrong. He starts out wrong. His starting points are so wrong. Why would you like? Yeah, they're not. What are you? Yeah, again, as Chesh said, there are definitions, there are cultures, and there are movements, and then you're somehow trying to change the narrative. Is that what you're trying to do? Like gaslight people about CRT, transgenderism, and sexes and all that shit. Like what? And who the fuck asked you? Who the fuck asked you?
Yeah, I don't think that Twitway makes a funny point. Remember, Chesh, you used to be part of that echo chamber. Incorrect.
No,
I called Steve out publicly on shit like this while I was still around on his channel live.
Yep. Yeah, she has done that a lot.
Oh yeah, no, Landon. I don't mean to pick on it or anything. I'm just kind of like mulling it over in my head, and this is kind of I'm sort of like free forming thoughts about it, right? Like I just mean I'm considering it seriously, and these would be my concerns, right? I just don't know if there is anything in his opinion that's valuable, including, by his own standard. Apparently, you need to be cited in a college textbook.
Yeah, and Chesh has not, so...
I haven't been cited in a college textbook, so clearly everything that I've showed you is just absolute fucking nonsense. I mean, to be fair, pretty much everything I showed you was absolute nonsense, but of a different variety.
Oh, God.
No, you're fine. You don't have to apologize. It's fine. I just thought it was cute.
Yeah, we don't get our fifis hurt for small things and then
how dare you?
Muted.
What pearls? I don't know. Manya, have we taken anything of value throughout this situation that the last 2 hours? I'm surprised we got through all of this in 2 hours. Good job, us. Good job, everybody.
Don't watch Fox News. Don't read opinion pieces on topics that you want to learn about.
I think that's good advice.
Yeah, don't read opinion pieces. Go straight to the definitions and even research papers and all that shit.
Steve has and he must scream.
And people calling you jackass is nothing. People will call you asshole, jackass, whatever. Get your toughen up a bit. Toughen up a bit more.
Yeah, but Manya, it's not like we don't know and don't have Steve on record saying that he uses Twitter as like a testing cesspool to act like a jackass and see who responds how to it, right? Like he thinks he's fucking
yes.
Right? So when you decide to be a jackass on Twitter, don't be mad that people call you a jackass, because you knew you were being a jackass. You made that decision. So why are you surprised? If you decide to be purposefully, obtuse, and then people are like, you're being annoying. You've personally attacked me. This conversation's over. You're not honest. As if Steve was being honest in any of the things that we showed.
Yeah. God. Yeah, so...
TM Canada.
And for Steve, the advice is, you can learn something from us, actually.
Oh,
you can learn something from us. Fight me on that. Yeah, maybe watch this segment, Steve, and I'm sure you will learn. And hopefully you change your mind, but...
I had one or two that I was sent by Dave McGinnis that were really funny that I didn't bring up. Hold on one second. I might have,
Ooh! Yes! Extras, let's go!
So, This is not the advice from a friend has one that says Steve doesn't like to be told when he's saying stupid things. He would much rather you stroke his ego and tell him that what a smart boy he is. My entire thing on Twitter is pointing out when people say dumb things. I don't want to be made fun of. Don't say stupid shit. Like that.
Yeah,
You can't get much better than that. Like, yeah. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, dumbass. Like,
Surprise, surprise, motherfucker.
hi, Steve. Welcome to the internet. Is it your first day here?
Yeah, seriously, is it his first day here? Dude, where were you? Hiding under a rock? Which is atheist?
So where I showed you that screenshot of Steve saying, like, oh, your opinion's not going to be allowed here.
Yeah.
Frustrated Atheist actually responded and said, my opinion won't be allowed? Wow, how very echo chambery of you. So the only opinions allowed are the ones that stroke your ego. As long as everyone is sucking your dick, they can say something. Seems legit.
Ooh, burn.
And then instead of actually having any kind of response to this, like saying, like, well, actually it's this, that, or the other thing, or not saying anything because he was done with the conversation, right? He says, no, you have recused yourself from the dialogue by personal attacks rather than discussing the topic. I have zero tolerance for that.
Steve, stop telling people what they did. Stop gaslighting them.
Yo, Frustrated Atheist fucking, like, nails this to the wall. This is the response that Steve should have given up here, but he didn't because he's stupid. Frustrated Atheist said, I discussed the topic. I asked you to provide evidence of a claim, and you refused to do so. Instead told me I have to provide the evidence that you were right. When you said something that stupid, you deserve to be made fun of. I was civil and on topic until that point. I wouldn't even say saying something was stupid is uncivil. I think that's just part of normal dialogue, but that's just me. If Steve's gonna be a super fragile snowflake, I guess you need to treat him with, like, the biggest, babyest gloves, and those biggest, babyest gloves actually need to be fleshlights. I rest my case. I'm not interested in your level of dialogue. You mean when he said you were stupid about one thing, but then otherwise discussed? Yeah, see? Ha! You made my point for me! Muted.
Muted.
Dave McGinnis comes in building your own echo chamber, one mute at a time. Steve responds, can you guess? Chat, can you guess what he responded with?
What was the response? Let go, let go. Come on, guys.
Muted.
Bonk.
And so, like, the thing that's really funny here is just, like, all the response that, like, the only response Steve is giving is a less funny version of okay boomer.
Oh, that was good. That was good.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to this poetry, which is just, you know, a thing of fucking beauty. You can't get better than this. I don't think you could possibly, like, the irony and, like, the complete lack of self-awareness.
He's serenading people to come on his channel. That's what he's doing.
Oh. Muted,
like...
muted. Yeah, there you go. You got it.
Hey, Chesh, he's like, you know, what they do in the Greek mythology. Come be better with me.
Come be with me. Come be better than you could ever be with that guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hope you guys had... Muted. I hope you all had fun. This was fun.
I had fun. Yeah.
We'll have a beer. It's St. Patrick's Day it's St. Patrick's weekend.
Oh, nice.
So if you do St. Patrick's Day stuff, I hope you guys have that. Do you do that in New Zealand?
Some people do. Not everyone.
Nice.
I'm sure my neighborhood will do something.
Are you gonna have, like, a block party? Wait, it's not? Is that not this Friday?
No.
Is that next Friday?
No, not a block party. They usually go to pubs and have a drink. That's what happens.
Oh, it's next Friday. Sorry, next Friday, not this Friday. I got them confused. My mistake. This week is March break.
Oh, okay.
There are a ton of shows this week coming up on this channel. One with Landon and Dapper, drinking, watching Ken Ham and stuff. We're gonna see if we can get further than, like, 20 minutes. That'll be a good one.
Yeah, you got a lot of things planned, eh?
If Steve decides to stream about this, maybe we'll watch it in this in the Discord if people are interested. RJ and Jackson Wheat are coming on to discuss a book they wrote. I have Reed and Answers and Reason are coming on to discuss skepticism because they had a interesting run-in with the New Atheism plus Jimmy Snow group of people about...
God!
There was this lovely fallacy I saw of, well, I'm a real skeptic. So we're going to talk about like what skepticism is and how to approach that and what are the pitfalls of when does skepticism become denialism?
Yeah, it's oh my god, Jimmy Snow, holy shit. I never thought of hearing that name.
Yeah, this is a March break of no break for me. I'm sure, and then I'm pretty sure it's the 13th that's coming up that Dr. Dan's supposed to be coming on, and he was the one that Steve was shitting on in this stream that what we were just looking at. Yep, that's next Monday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we'll all have streams, and the next tavern is on the 25th.
Nice.
So you probably won't see me tomorrow. You might see me later today doing some art on Twitch because I missed yesterday because I wasn't feeling so well. So I'll probably be doing some art there. If you are interested in that, go follow on Twitch. Otherwise, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank you to our super chatters, which I will just go through quickly right now. So I want to say Ghost Dog for 33 months said they're going to watch it later. And Chesh, Manya, everybody have fun. Thank you so much, Ghost Dog. I think we had fun. Did you have fun? The last question for the last question.
For the live chat.
Did you have fun? Question mark. Thank you to EMP and Helios and Mark Smith for the super chats today. Thank you so much if you are a member of the channel and supporting. Thank you so much if you are a Patreon. Please feel free to join us, like, share, subscribe. If you did have fun and if you learned something, share the screen.
The stream.
Come hang out with me more.
We do more shenanigans in the Discord.
Join us in the Discord. Alright. Get me out of here. I can't do this anymore. I'm impressed that we got through this as fast as we did. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. It's been great to see you. See you next Friday.
Bye-bye.
Hello.
Welcome back to Don't Fekk Friday.
Don't Fekk
Friday. Don't Fekk Friday.
Don't Fekk Friday.
Don't Fekk Friday.
It's going to be fun.